Today's topic is priority queue. So the priority queue is the application of queue. So we have already seen how queue is implemented, how circular queue is implemented. So now we will see how priority queue is implemented. The priority queue is a collection of 0 or more items. Each item is associated with a priority. Only three operations that can be performed with the priority queue, that is insert, delete minimum and find minimum. So here we will be using another extra function called decrease priority, which will be used to sort the elements based on the priorities. The main thing we have to note here is the first in first out property will not be applicable for priority queue. Here each item will be deleted based on the priority. The basic assumption for the priority queue is we will consider the highest priority to be deleted. Either it can be minimum value or a maximum value. Usually we will assume the highest priority will have a minimum value. That is, when you rate it from between a scale from 1 to 5, we assume 1 is the highest priority and 5 is the least priority. So when a delete function is being called, it has to find the element which is having the highest priority and that should be deleted. Now let us see how the implementation of priority queue is done. So the basic thing we will be using is binary heap. Why we are using binary heap is its complexity is very less when compared to other implementation. And you can see the delete minimum and find minimum will be of very less time complexity. The next implementation is an unsorted list using an array implementation. So it has a very worst complexity of number of all the elements has to be compared. So you will be using a two-dimensional array, one to store the data value and another is to store the priority. To find the element that is having a highest priority, we need to search all the n elements. So that is why the unsorted list is very likely to be used. Next is using a linked list, that is also an unsorted list. So here insert will have the same complexity that you have to use appropriate pointers for inserting the element, and finding the minimum element that is with the highest priority, we may need to search the whole list. For deleting minimum or find minimum will be having the same worst case time complexity. Suppose if we are using a sorted list, we can implement the sorted list using a circular array. So if that is the case, what will be the worst case scenario is whenever we try to insert an element, we need to sort the list because we are going to maintain the list in a sorted manner based on the priority. So here all the elements has to be shifted one cell down to make the insertion. Hence insertion will be a worst case scenario. Whereas when you consider the find minimum and delete minimum, the minimum or a highest priority element will be appearing in the first location, so it will be easily accessed. We can also use linked list to have a sorted list for a priority queue. Here again insertion will be an issue since we have to search the whole linked list to find the appropriate position to insert the element. But in case of deleting the minimum element or the highest priority, you can find it in the header itself. So you will find it as a first node in your priority queue. So the implementation of priority queue, you will be using either heap or unsorted list or sorted list. But you can see binary heap performs more better than an sorted or unsorted list. Either if you are using array implementation or linked list implementation, always the binary heap gives the best result. Now let us see an example for priority queue. So this priority queue, based on the inserted value, we are going to assign the priorities. If the value is minimum, that is going to be the highest priority. If the value is maximum, then that is going to be the lowest priority. The structure is going to be as similar as queue. You will be having an array with a size of 5 and you will have two pointers, front and rear. Front will refer the first value of the queue and rear will refer the last inserted value or the last element of the priority queue. So here you will check your priority queue whether it is full or not. So how do you check? Because when you are doing insertion fails at only one case. If my array is full, insertion fails. So how do I do it? I check my rear whether it is equal to max minus 1. So if it is max is 5, if it is equal to 4, rear is equal to 4 means then my priority queue is full. Otherwise, I will insert the element. So if my queue is empty, initially front and rear will be -1. So I just increment front and rear to 0th position and insert the element in the priority queue. Now I'm going to insert the next element. You can see in the diagram it is already 26 is inserted. Now I am going to insert 15. So while inserting 15, I have to check the priority. So how do I check the priority? You can see the function in check priority. I check whether the data which is to be inserted is compared with all the values that are present in the priority queue. So it will find the right position where it has to be inserted. Until then, each and every element will be pushed one cell down. See, you can see 26 is moved to the next position, and because 15 is less than 26, then again it will start insert the element in the 0th position. Now rear will be getting incremented. So after the insertion of 15 and 26, I am trying to insert 20. So first for loop will find which position 20 is to be inserted. So it has to be inserted between 15 and 26. That means 20 has to be inserted in the position 1. So when data value is greater than or equal to the priority queue, we will enter into the list. So you will enter into the list and you will see from that position till the rear position, each and every element in the rear will be pushed one step down. You can see the for loop inside the if case. It's a loop that is starting from reverse. It is starting from the rear end till the current position. So what happens is 26 will be moved to second position, then first position will be empty. So in the first position 20 will be inserted. We will see another insertion again to make sure how it works. So now I am going to insert 10. So the first for loop will check whether 10 is less than or equal to the first element. No. So what happens? From the rear end till the current position, all the elements has to be pushed one step down. So you can see in the figure 2, the 26 is first moved to third position. Then in figure 3, 20 is moved to second position. Then in figure 5, 15 is moved to one position, and in 0th position the 10 has been inserted. After insertion of 10, the rear will get incremented. So now you have 4 elements in the list. The next we are going to see here is delete minimum in the priority queue. So you can see my list is already sorted. So the first element or the first position is going to be the minimum value of the priority queue. That is the highest priority element is available in the first position. So what I have to do here is after deletion of 10, all the cells has to be shifted one cell above. So what I do here is I am just pushing all the elements one step above. You can see in figure 2, 15 is moved to 0. In figure 3, 20 is moved to position 1. In figure 5, 26 is moved to 26. Then rear will be decremented. So you can see the priority queue consists of only 15, 20 and 26. Suppose if the queue is having only one element, automatically you can see the queue will become empty. So we'll see you can have an example for that. Now my priority queue has only one element, 10. So if you perform delete minimum, 10 will be deleted. So you can see the loop will not be executed. So it will come out. Then finally the rear will get decremented. So from 0th position it will go to -1. When rear is -1, automatically front will be also made -1 since my priority queue is empty. So displaying the elements of the priority queue, which is very similar to displaying the elements of queue implementation. So this display will fail if my queue is empty. So how do I check? If front is equal to -1, then my queue is empty. Otherwise, we will start printing from front to rear. So I used a for loop here and it will start printing from front to rear, and all the elements will be printed as 10, 15, 20 and 26. So this is the simplest sorted list of priority queue implementation using array implementation. So before going to binary heap is a new ADT structure which is called tree. So before going to the binary heap, we should know what is tree and what is binary tree is. A tree is nothing but a collection of nodes. Okay, it will be having one distinguished node called root node, and it will be having an 0 or more non-empty subtrees. That is, other nodes it can be of same similar structure, and each and every root and subtrees are connected with a directed edge. Okay, each and every root and subtrees are connected with directed edge. As you can see the diagram, here in this first diagram is an example for tree. So here sample is considered as a root, okay, and it has more than one child. So you can see a directed edge. Usually you will not use the arrows, but it is going to be a directed edge. It means that from sample I can either go to the first node or the second node or third node. So I can go to first node. You can see the first node is having a subtree which is having another 4 nodes are connected to it. All the fractions are connected to aliquot first node. So that is considered as a subtree, where others are considered as nodes. So here each and every node will be represented using a circle, and the edge will be noted as a directed edge or line, a solid line. So this tree, it can have n number of nodes that can be connected to it. So if a node is having only 2 nodes connected to it, then it is called binary tree. So what is a binary tree? A binary tree is a tree in which no node can have more than 2 children. The first diagram is not a binary tree since root itself is having 3 nodes. Whereas the second diagram is an example of binary tree. You can see one is having only 2 childs or 2 nodes, that is 2 and 3. And 2 is having 4 and 5, and 3 is having 6 and 7. Like this it is going on. So I can travel from 1 to 2, from 2 to 4 or 5. If I go to 4, I can go to either 8 or 9. So the traversal is always from top to bottom fashion, and each and every node can have maximum only 2 childs. So usually the priority queue has following 2 operations, as I said before, insert and delete minim. So the commonly used priority queue implementation is binary heap. So a binary heap is a tree. It has 2 properties. One is structural property and another one is a heap order property. What is structural property is the heap is a completely filled binary tree. Okay, with the exception to the bottom level, that is the lowest level, it can have an exception that it may or may not have a node connected to it. So it will be filled from left to right, top to bottom. And this type of structure, we call it as a complete binary tree. Next thing is heap order property. So every node, that is the parent node, is smaller than the child nodes. So it can be either smaller or equal to the child node with exception to the root alone. We will see what is complete binary tree first. So you will get to an example how a binary tree will be constructed. There are 2 diagrams are here. You can see both the diagram is a binary tree since each and every node is having only 2 nodes connected to it. So here first you should understand what is a parent node and what is a child node. So here 1 is considered as parent node because it is having 2 nodes connected to it, and 2 and 3 are considered as a child node. Okay, so 1 is parent and 2 and 3 are child nodes for 1. So if 1 is parent, 2 and 3 are child. For 2 and 3, 1 is the parent. So this is the structure of tree. Now what is complete tree is? See the tree how it is created. The first node created is 1, the second node is 2, third node is 3. So we will say that for a root, left child or left node is created, then right node is created. Now for second node, left node is created, then right node is created. Then for 3, left node is created and right node is created. After the node creation of 7, you can see 8 will be starting from 4th node onwards. So 8 will be created with 4th left and 9 will be created with 4th right. So in this way, top to bottom, in this fashion, left to right, the tree nodes will be created. If you are creating a tree in such a fashion, that is called complete binary tree. So I am referring to the left side image. Now coming to the right side image, you can see it is not a complete tree. Why, sir? As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 5 all the nodes are created properly. Okay, so for 6, if you can see, before creation of left child I have created right child, so which is a wrong creation, because the 12th node which is to be created is not created and 13th node is created. So hence the right side image is not a complete binary tree. So you don't worry, you will have an example at the upcoming slides. You will clearly understand how the tree is created. So next one is a heap order property. You can see now that a complete tree is with the values. You can see the parent nodes are always smaller than the child nodes. You can see node 1, 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are bigger than 1. Similarly, 10 and 11 are greater than 5. And similarly, when you consider 2, you can see 8, 9, 10, 11, 5, 4, everything are greater than 11. So the parent node must be always smaller than all its descent node. So this is the heap order property. Now how heap can be implemented? Heap can be implemented in two ways. One is using an array implementation and another one is using a tree implementation. So how in array implementation will be done is, so the parent node will be stored in ith position and the left child of the parent node will be stored in 2i position and the right child will be stored in 2i plus 1 position. Now in this diagram, the root node is stored in the first position and you can see the left child is stored in 2i. So that means 2 into 1 is second position, it is stored in second position. In the above array, you see the array position. The above box is representing the array representation. Now the root node's left child has to be stored, that is 6 has to be stored. Where it has to be stored is 2 into 1 plus 1. So it is 2 plus 1, it is 3 and it is stored in third position. Now suppose for 11th node, there are two childs are there, 13 and 35, where it has to be stored. So 2 into 2 is 4, it will be stored in fourth position, and 2 into 2 plus 1 is 4 plus 1, 5, it will be stored in fifth position. So you can see it is stored in this fashion. So the parent node will be stored in ith position and left child of the parent will be stored in 2 into I and the right child will be stored in 2 into I plus 1. So binary heap supports following operations. It can insert an element and it will return a minimum element. Sometimes the minimum element will be removed from the binary heap and you can decrease the key value of the elements to some k elements. So you will see this operation with an example in the next slide. Now what will be the application of binary heap is, it is mainly used in shortest path algorithm, minimum spanning tree. Sometimes it is used in Huffman coding as well as in event driving. So everywhere the binary heap plays a vital role and it improves the performances. Let us see the example how binary heap is created. So you should keep in mind that we should have two things in mind. First thing, it's a complete binary tree. So node will be created starting from first top to bottom, left to right fashion. Okay. So now let us assume my binary heap is empty. So first I am going to insert 84. So one and only element. So it is stored in the root. So you will have only one node 84. The rest of the nodes with no values will not be shown in the diagram. So I am using it here to make sure that you understand it's a complete tree. So initially you will have only 84, only one node. Now when I try to insert 79, so the next node will be created is left side of 84. That is in the second node position. You can understand that the left child is created for 84. So there 79 is inserted. Now the first structural property is satisfied. Now what is the second property? It is going to be a heap property. Now for heap property, what I said, parent should be smaller than the child. So what happens is an exchange happens between the first node and the second node. So 79 will become root and 84 will become left child. Now similarly, I am going to insert the next element as 99. So the next node will be created as right child of 79. So that is the third node is created. So I will insert 99 in third node. So when you check the heap property, its parent has to be small. You can see 79 is small. So no change in your diagram. Now see, I'm going to insert 14. So which node will be created for the 14 is the left child of 84. That is the left child of second node will be created. So now you can see fourth node is created and 14 is inserted. So I have now totally 4 nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see when you read 1, 2, 3, 4, it is coming from top to bottom, left to right. Okay. So now fourth node is created. In the fourth node, 14 is inserted. So now we are going to check the heap order property after insertion. 14 will check its parent is less. It is not less. So 84 and 14 get swapped. Now you can see 14 and 84 is getting swapped. Now again 14 checks its parent is less or not. So it is not less than, it is greater than. 79 is greater than 14. So a swap happens between 79 and 14. So the final diagram will be 14, 79, 84 and the right side you will have 99. Now we'll take another example. Now new node 6 is going to be inserted. Value 6 is going to be inserted into the binary heap. So which node will be created? As you know that 1, 2, 3, 4 is created. That means the fifth node will be created as a right child for 2. It will be created as right child for 2 and 6 is inserted. So it will check with its parent. Again the parent is not small, so a swap will happen. So what happens here? 6 and 79 will be getting swapped. So 6 will go to second node and 79 will come to fifth node. Again 2 and 1 will be compared. So sixth node will check whether its parent is smaller. That is second node checks the parent node 1 is smaller or not. It is not smaller. So again 6 and 14 will get swapped. 6 will go to 1 and 14 will come to second node. So now I have 5 nodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I am trying to insert 25. So when I try to insert 25, where the new node will be created, you can see for the third node you don't have any child, any value. So the third node's left child will be created. That is the node 6 will be created. So in the sixth position 25 is inserted. It checks its parent 99. Whether it is smaller, it is not smaller. So 25 will get swapped. So 25 will go up and 99 will come. So after this insertion, I am trying to insert 28. So the new node will be created as a right child for 3. That is the 7th node is created. In that I am inserting 28. Now check whether your parent is small. Yes, it is small. So no swap happens here. Okay. So always check with your parent. If it is greater than the parent, there will be no swap. Okay. Okay, now I will leave it to your imagination. So after the insertion of 28, let us assume I am going to insert 13, 11, 35, 45, 2, 12 and 7. So you try it by yourself. You can see the final output diagram will be the first diagram which is in the middle. So that will be your final diagram after all these consecutive insertion. So now let us see delete minimum operation. So here, as I said before, delete minimum will take only one step cycle because the minimum value will be always in the root of the binary heap. So when I perform delete minimum, root will be deleted. So what happens in the final diagram, from the first node, the value 2 is deleted. You can see in the bottom left image, 2 is deleted from 1. Now this space, when this value is deleted, automatically from the structure, the 14th node will be removed, because when you are performing deletion, the node structure will be removed from bottom to top, right to left. So if a value is inserted, a new structure will be created from top to bottom, left to right fashion. In a deletion, when you delete a value, it may be deleted from any part or root or any other cell. That structure will be removed from right to left, bottom to top. So when 2 is deleted, automatically the node 14 will be removed. So you can see the right diagram, the structure for 28 is being removed. Now what will be the value that will be occupying in the root node? So now root node has two values, 11 and 6, which is minimum. 6 is minimum, so 6 will move to first position or first node. Now in that position, in the sixth position, you can see that is empty. Now 12 and 7 are there, so 7 will move up, and in the 7th node position you will have empty. Now you can simply say that 20 can be moved to 7. No, it will not happen in that fashion. So if a node structure is removed and the value has to be stored, it has to search the value in the same level, that is in the bottom level. Okay, so you'll see how it is done. So what happens is, in the 7th node, what is the next node that is created is 8th node. So the value from 8th node will be going to the 7th node. So from the 8th node, 84 is gone to 7th node, and the place for 28 will be occupied in 8th node. So you can see in the next diagram 28 has come to 8th position. Now in the next diagram, if I again perform delete minimum, 6 will be deleted from the root node, and the structure for the 13th node will be removed. Now I have to find a space for 25, and I also have to find what is the value for the root node. So first we will fill the root node, then we will find where 25 has to be inserted. So one is having two child, one is 11 and 7. So which is minimum? 7 is minimum. So 7 will occupy the first node. Now in the place of 7, that is 3, in the third node, again two nodes are connected to third node, 12 and 84. A space is, so which is minimum? 12 is minimum. So 12 will occupy the third node. Now the node 6 is empty. So 99 will be moving up to 6th node. You can see in the third diagram in the bottom left, 99 is moved to the 6th position. Now you can see for 25 I have a space in the same level. So 25 will be stored in 12th position. But it has to check the heap order property. When it checks the heap order property, 99 is big. So a swap happens between 99 and 25. So 99 comes down and 25 goes up. So you can see it in the next diagram. So after deleting 6, you can see 25 has gone up and 99 has come down. Now after this, I am going to perform again a delete minimum operation. So in the top rightmost, I am going to perform delete operation. So the root node will be deleted, that is 7 will be deleted. So if 7 is deleted, you can see 11 and 12 are connected. So which will take 7th place? 11 will take. The 11th place, the 11th, that is the second node, has again two child, 13 and 35. So which is minimum? 13 is minimum. So 13 will go up to second node. Again, two nodes are there for fourth node, 28 and 14. So which is minimum? 14 is minimum. So 14 will go up. So when 7 is deleted, automatically the node structure 12 will be deleted, and I have to find a space for 99. So after shifting up of all the cells, you can see I have a space in node 9. So 99 can be stored in 9th position. So in the bottom left image, it shows after the deletion of 7. Now if I perform again delete minimum, that means 11 is going to be deleted. If 11 deletes, means automatically the structure for 45 is removed. You can see the edge for 45 is removed. So now in the place of 11, the 13 and 12 will compete. 12 is minimum, so 12 will go to the first node, and in 12th position we have two spaces, 25 and 84. So 25 will take its space. Now you can see 6 and 84. 6 is not having any space. I cannot move 45 to 6 because 45 is in third level where 6 is in second level. So what happens is 84 will get shifted to 6. See it in the next diagram. So 84 is getting shifted from 7 to 6. Now 7 is empty. What is the next node created after 7 is 8. So from there you will get 28. Now 28 is moved to second level. Now 45, which is not having any node structure, that 45 value will be stored in 8th node. So this is after performing delete minimum for 11. So this is how the delete minimum will work for binary heap. So I remind you again, if you are inserting, the nodes will be created from top to bottom, left to right fashion. If you are deleting a value from the binary heap, the structure will be removed from bottom to top, right to left. Okay. So whenever you try to insert the element, you will insert at the new bottom level. and you will check whether its parent is less or not. If it is less, no change. If it is greater, it has to be swapped. So and it will check until its parent is less. So this is heap order property. Even if you delete also, sometimes heap order property will be checked. So this is the Amadeus case complexity for heap. So when you are trying to implement a binary heap using linked list, it will be having O of V square. That is how many nodes are there, that many node comparisons will happen. N square nodes. If you have N nodes, then you will have N square node comparisons. So when you are using binary heap, it will be based on number of nodes and number of edges. Okay, so because you will be traveling through only one part of the list, so you will be not traveling more than one part of the list, so that will be the only complexity. So similarly, a priority queue heap can be implemented using a binomial heap and Fibonacci heap and relaxed heap, and we have a properties. So this is the comparison for the complexity of binary heap. So thank you. We have seen binary heap. So this is otherwise called min heap because the minimum element appears in the root node. So that's all about binary heap. Thank you.